Thính đại đức tặng thịnh, vì thứ pháp vội cập nhật thiết chúng sanh. Thính chuyên diệu pháp giáo đạo Nam mô như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạc lạc thức chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đan Thô Sư Chế Đô Ye Ở La Hơ Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xie. Nam mô Tát Đắc Tha Tô Ya Đa Ya A La Ha Đế Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Thoa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come once true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai qian wan jie nan zao yu. 我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Sutra, Great Master Xinhua, O good monks and nuns, and all good knowing advisors of Amitabha. 诸佛菩萨智者大士师父上人，各位出家人，各位善知识，弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát kính thưa trí giả đại sư Thượng Thiên Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị trí thức A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 24th of August 2024. We're here at Go Forest to discuss the Vimalakirti Sutra. We are on slide 109. Thank you for joining us. It's in a section that describes the state of bodhisattvas. So this is the superior living beings who actually are the workhorses for the Buddhas. Okay, and Buddhas, when they decided to help living beings, what do they do? What they do is very much like in Catholicism. Oh, no Catholic here today. Never mind. Okay, Mormon? No one? Okay, so what the Buddhas do, they empower bodhisattvas. They send bodhisattvas throughout the universe, the Dharma realm, as the Buddhists would call it, and empower them to carry out the work. Okay, it serves dual purposes, and because now they have more hands, Buddhas have countless bodhisattva disciples, and they send everywhere: human realm, cockroach realm, squirrel realm, Taoist realm, everywhere. Okay, all sorts of places in the universe to reach out to all sorts of living beings. And then behind the scenes, the Buddhas would then support the bodhisattvas to do the bodhisattvas' work. That's how it is in Mahayana. Okay, so here in the Vimalakirti Sutra, we have a glimpse of the state of bodhisattvas. So we're on slide 109. So the bodhisattvas, the text says, completely purified, they had transcended all coverings and fetters.
悉以清净，永离盖缠。
Okay. What does it take to be a bodhisattva? Okay. It says here, completely purified. Okay. This is the gold standard. And what it means here is a very technical jargon. It has already attained the patience and non-arisal of Dharma. This is a very important Buddhist concept. Okay, this is a major milestone for your spiritual journey. It's very much like when I was younger, the milestone for success in life was to become a millionaire. Okay, and now it's no longer a big deal. Millionaire is a dime a dozen. Even most of you are millionaires here in San Jose. Millionaire. Okay, so if you're not millionaire, your parents are millionaire already, multi-millionaire. Okay. Anyway, so for the bodhisattvas, it's about whether they're certified to the patience and non-arisal of dharmas. Please remember this. This is like they arrived. This is great success. All right. This is not for worldly criteria, but this is the universal criteria. You go anywhere in the Dharma realm and you say, I've been certified to attain the patience and non-arisal of dharmas, then you know what's going to happen? You don't know? Not at all? You don't get it? Then you are revered, and then you are in the special class where you are in the privileged class, all right, and then you are known by the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. Okay, so it's sort of like you made the club, yeah. The American Express gold, whatever they call it, gold card club or whatever. Okay, only you have access to such a privileged club. Okay, but when it says purified here, Master Tuta, the great sage from China, he says, actually, you should know that the quote for in the Buddhist text, it says completely purified here. It also means a praise of virtues. And in Buddhism, there are two virtues. There are of significance: the virtue of severance and the virtue of wisdom. Isn't it interesting? Virtues is actually wisdom is actually virtue. To be virtuous is equivalent to having wisdom. In other words, when you have wisdom, you act virtuously. You live virtuously. I know it's kind of hard for you to believe, but actually it's people who have prajna wisdom, people who have Buddhist wisdom, actually are very virtuous. Does it show? Met anyone who has wisdom? All right. And the other is severance. The virtue of severance. Severance means to cut off delusions and birth and death. Okay, cut off delusions, meaning that you no longer do confused things. cut off the end, birth, and death, meaning that you are in total control of your destiny. Okay? You can live for a long, long time and not die. And you can die when you choose to. So, and then once you're dead, and then doesn't matter anymore. I mean, once you're dead, when you're dead, then you know you are above the wheel reincarnation. Meaning what? That's what it's meant by the Buddhist concept of end, birth, and death. Meaning that you Buddhists, explain to me what does end, birth, and death means. Go ahead, Sin Sunim. Sinan Sunim will be so proud of me calling you Sin Sunim.
It means that you will no longer be revolving the wheel of incarnation.
I just said that. You cannot imitate me.
Oh, really?
You have to add to the equation. Yeah. What else do you know about end, birth, and death?
End, birth, and death.
Everyone memorized what I said, but they don't think outside of the box. What does it mean, end, birth, and death, to you? Make it a personal experience.
Personal. How do I verbalize it?
Okay, Master Z, what does it mean, end, birth, and death, to you? Very practical, folks. It's not just words. These have very practical considerations for you. Yes? End, birth, and death, what does it mean?
Mean to end affliction in my mind.
And fiction?
And afflictions in my mind.
And of affliction in your mind. And that's end, birth, and death? How do you equate end, birth, and death to end of afflictions?
Because affliction is production of thoughts, and then we don't have any. We stop the production of thoughts, and then no more.
Very good, excellent. What else comes to your mind? You can tell the Master Z is very afflicted. Anyone else? Yes, Waymoun.
Amita for Master. You know, yesterday we were in the car with Daniel and he was hearing your Dharma request, and then he came up with a question for me. He said, what does non-birth mean? And I said, end, death, and birth. And then he asked me more. He said, what does that mean? And I said, oh, you don't have to reincarnate anymore. And he accepted that answer.
That's the answer. Don't have to reincarnate anymore. Very good. But you just repeated the answer.
But Daniel got it.
Daniel got it. You have a smart boyfriend. That's good. Have he ever considered becoming Buddhist? He's been studying the Buddhology so much. Okay, anyone else? That's end, birth, and death to you. Yes, JMT. Is that Jumioy? No? No, okay. False alarm, okay. Weimao. You press the wrong button, that's what it happens.
Dạ, con thưa Thầy. Con nghĩ là thoát sanh tử, liệu sanh thoát tử là thoát ra khỏi cái sự khổ đau.
No more suffering, okay.
Yeah, no more suffering, yeah.
Very good, no more suffering, okay. No more end and birth and death. Okay, very good. Yes, Weimao. That's it? Okay. Yeah, how to start? No? Oh.
Master, do you reach fourth stage arhatship when you reach that state?
Yes, you have to be at least fourth stage arhat and higher before you can end birth and death. That's correct. Anyone else? You see, Buddhism is very, very precise. The Buddhas, when he uses his jargons, it's actually insights into our lives, about us, insight about us, who we really are. Yes, Wei Mao.
For Master, one more time. So you can choose when to die, and you can also choose if you want to go to reincarnate next time to become a cow, or go to the maybe Pureland.
What's so great about it?
Or go to heaven to enjoy some heaven time. You have the choice.
You have a choice. You cannot go to Pureland, honey. You're wrong. Don't believe what Daniel tells you.
But you can go to heaven and enjoy.
Yeah, you can go
heaven.
Say have tea with God and so forth. Absolutely. Yeah. And so what happens, what she's talking about is that when you die, at the time of your death, you actually can choose to be born again. Just because you end birth and death doesn't mean you're not born anymore. It only means that you can choose where you can be born. Because ordinary people have zero control. Okay? When you die, after you die, you have no idea where you're going to go next. Whereas the fourth stage Arhat or higher, the so-called sages in Mahayana, they can choose to go wherever they wish, okay, except for a few places. All right? Yeah. All right. Anyone else? End birth and death. Why is it birth and death? Yes, go ahead. 7.
Amitofo. If fourth stage arhats can decide what realm they will end up in, why is it important for them to follow precepts?
The fourth stage arhat, why is it important to follow precepts?
Yes.
And what's your first sentence say? I couldn't quite catch it.
If fourth stage arhats can decide the realm that they are reborn in, why do they have to follow precepts?
They have a great amount of flexibility of where they want to be born or not born at all. Okay? Not born at all meaning they can go into nirvana. Born as they don't go to nirvana, they take on the next body. Is that clear? Birth and death means that you take on the next body. So no birth and death means that you don't take on the next body, meaning you go to nirvana. Is that clear? The sages, the fourth stage Arhat and higher, they have a choice. And say, okay, enough of this madness, I'm not coming back. So they can enter nirvana. And they never take on a body. They don't take on a body at all. Okay? So that's why no end birth and death. Okay? And if that's the case, why would the fourth stage Arhat keep precepts? That's a good question. So typical of Western educated people. Why? Why bother? Yeah? Why bother? I know Wei Mao has a comment or an answer. Go ahead. Why do fourth stage have to keep precepts?
Hello. Comment and then a question. When you, in my opinion, when you're keeping precept, for normal people, we're suffering and precept is to restrain us, help us. But I guess, my guess, for fourth stage arhat, they don't feel the need to. Why do you want to violate precept? It has to, on the other hand, they probably don't have the desire. But if they want to, I guess they could violate the precept. It's on their choice. That's my comment. Question, Master.
Okay.
For fourth stage arhat, if they want, they have the will, they want to.
Yeah.
When they die, can they go to Pureland? If they want to, that's what they want to go.
If that's what they want to go, they can't necessarily go there. Because to go to the Pure Land, basically, you need the Buddha's help. It's too far for us. Even for fourth stage arhat, they can't go on their own. They need the Buddha's help.
Can I do a follow-up question, Master?
Sure.
So,
I feel nice today.
So, like Venerable Heng Chi, your friend, when
one?
she can.
Heng Chi? Do I have a friend?
Yes. Yeah. The nun, the lead nun, Venerable Heng Chi. She bought you a lunch.
She's not my friend. I don't know many Heng who is my friends. Because most of them hate me.
Well, Venerable Heng Chi, she knows about Pure Land, so would she be able to go to Pure Land when she goes past?
Can I give you a straight answer?
Yes.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. See?
Thank you.
The Asian people don't get it. It's from a movie. Ever seen, what's that name of the movie again? Huh? You guys don't see movies at all. You are the most boring people on earth. Huh? Russian roulette? No, it's not Russian roulette. No! This guy's even worse. Not even close. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Casablanca. It's Casablanca.
You Asian people are hopeless. Ask ChatGPT, man. Ask him, where is the line? Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Where's the line from? Which movie? Gone with the Wind. Yeah, at least
it's not Gone with the Wind.
Who's?
Is it? No, it's. Oh, it is Gone with the Wind. God damn.
This guy used to work in the movie industry. Now you know why he now hangs around where we are. You know the scene behind it. You know, I want you to be cultural. I want you to know that when you come to my lecture, it's not just boring Buddha Dharma. It's fun. In that movie that happened during the World War III. In the Civil War, you silly cows. Okay, and so when the South and the North were fighting each other, and Scarlett O'Hara was a Southern belle. She's very pretty, and she fell in love with a major who went to war. But the major, before he went to war, he married another woman, much more virtuous than Scarlett O'Hara. Okay, Scarlett O'Hara was very pretty, very sexy, very young, and everything. Very desirable. So she thought she could have anyone she wanted, but no, she fell in love with this major guy, and the guy fell in love with an older woman who was more virtuous than she was. The guy is pretty smart. And so Scarlett O'Hara. Then there's another guy, Red Butler, played by, anyone remembers? Clark Gable, thank you. See, ChatGPT tells him everything. I don't believe he knows anything. He just hello, ChatGPT. Okay, so Clark Gable, you know Clark Gable, don't you? Yeah? See, even Liang knows Clark Gable. He's like the sexiest man alive. He's like named by GQ back then as the sexiest man alive. That's before GQ came into being. Okay, so Clark Gable, who is like during the Civil War, he was like a smuggler. And he made a lot of money smuggling illegal stuff into the South and sold them at a huge profit margin. So he's very, very rich and young and handsome and courageous. Not young anymore, yeah. He wasn't young, but he was really, really handsome, much more than the major that Scarlett fell in love with. The major is like boring. But Red Butler is like dashing, sexy, and exciting, And the guy fell in love with Scarlett O'Hara. Of all the girls he could have, he said, I want you. Okay, and so they pursue each other, and finally, so that the story is behind that is pursuing the wrong people or cross romantic interests and so forth, and Red Butler being a very successful man, businessman, and everything, and the epitome of success for successful man, and he kept on chasing Scarlett O'Hara. In the end, they got married, I think, right? Chung, did he get married? Hey,
Master, I haven't seen that movie since high school. Oh, Jason, they got married. Kids happened.
Yeah, something like that.
And there's a daughter.
Yeah, and finally they got divorced like Brad Jelena or something like that, and they have a very, very messy divorce. and basically the parting line of Red Butler, who's madly in love with the wife, okay, Scarlett O'Hara, and he final line of that, she was complaining, he was whining like Jung's wife, and Red Butler looked at her and said, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn," and he walked away. Anyway, how did we get there? Okay. So fourth stage Arhat cannot go to the Pure Land without the Buddha's help. Even though they want to go to the Pure Land, they cannot. That's what worries me about this stupid old fourth stage Arhat nun in Vietnam right now who just died last week, this week or something. Master XC wants me to help her to go to the Pure Land, but I don't think she wants to go to the Pure Land. I don't know what to do. And I took his money already. I mean, I agreed to take his money. I spent it too. What am I going to do? Yes, DTT.
Now I don't have the question anymore. No more question, Master.
How disappointing. Okay. Anyway, so severance is interesting here, folks. When the term of severance here, virtue severance, is actually cut off delusions. The delusion is you no longer confused. It's to say that ordinary people are a lot more confused than they realize. I know you don't want to hear it, but until you get to that level of a fourth stage Arhat or higher, you are a lot more confused than you realize. How's that? Yes, JC.
Non-arisal of Dharma의 뜻이 지금 잘 이해가 되지 않는데 조금 더 설명해 주실 수 있나요?
Yeah, what did you say?
Non-arisal of Dharma 이거의 뜻이 지금 잘 이해되지 않습니다. 조금 더 설명해 주실 수 있나요?
He is asking about non-arisal of dharmas. Could you explain more about this?
Non-arisal of dharmas, meaning nothing arises anymore. Nothing. Name something that comes through your head. Tell me, what are you thinking of right now?
제가 지금 제 머릿속에 떠오르는 아무거나?
Anything in my head?
Yeah. Not anything. What you're thinking of. Okay, stop. Okay, stop. Okay, now, what are you thinking?
이게 그냥 무슨 뜻인가? 그거밖에 생각 안 납니다.
I'm thinking about what the meaning is.
Okay, stop it. That's arisal. Arisal of Dharma, meaning that arisal of Dharma means basically a Buddhist jargon for a thought arising. It's very, very clever jargon. Okay, let me break it down for you. Okay, why is it only young people ask these types of questions? Old farts like, Master Sheo disciples, none of them ask this kind of question. So no Dharma master is prepared to answer this. Because in my generation, we don't ask these questions. It's not polite. Okay? So what does it mean, arisal of dharmas? What is a dharma? A dharma, okay, this is so beautiful, let me tell you. The Buddhist jargon is so insightful, folks. It's about you. It's not Buddhism. It's about what's happening to you. Arisal of Dharma. What does it mean? What's Dharma? Dharma is something that your mind thinks of. Okay? If you think of a cat is a Dharma. All right? You think of eating is a Dharma. You think of hating someone, that hate there is a Dharma. You think of going to make a donation, drop money in a donation box behind you, it's a Dharma. It never works, these things. It's called the power of suggestion. Donate. The Koreans don't understand this joke. It's very American. I see, so serious, the young people. Okay, so Dharma is anything that the mind conceives of. Is it clear? Dharma is just a word. It means that whatever you thinking of, whether it's a cat, whether it's a car, whether it's money, whether it's love, whether it's anything you think of, is a Dharma. So Dharma, in other words, means anything you think of. Anything is a Dharma. So far, so good? Okay. So that's what happened to us. We are constantly thinking of things. Yes? We can't stop. You can't stop. I can say that. Yes? Is it fair to say you cannot stop thinking of things? You can't. See, to them, yes, I can. Okay.
I cannot stop my thoughts.
What?
I cannot stop my thoughts.
You cannot stop your thoughts. That's right. That's right. You cannot stop your thoughts. Okay. Yeah. Very good. So your thought, when you think of something that's called in Buddhism arisal of dharmas. So what does it mean, non-arisal of dharmas? No thoughts.
It means I can stop my thoughts.
You cannot stop your thoughts. So these sages can stop their thoughts at will. You cannot because you're not a sage yet. Okay? So what happened is that these bodhisattvas, they attain the patience of non-arisal of dharmas. Okay? I just explained to you non-arisal of dharmas. Is that clear? Anyone has a not clear about non-arisal of dharmas? Basically, I just broke it down for you, for all of you. Okay? Even to my long-term disciples don't even know how to break down the Buddhist terminology. Okay? Non-arisal of dharma. Is it clear? Anyone unclear about this? Isn't it beautiful, the Buddhist definition? It is so insightful. That's what's happening in his head right now. I know you don't have that problem, but this young man's here, he says, I cannot stop thinking. Therefore, he has a constant arisal of dharmas. Right? The sages are able to stop. So that is no more arisal of dharma, meaning no more thoughts. Clear enough? Yes? Isn't that cool? That's how, in Buddhism, that's called true freedom. True freedom is not about power, money, influence, love, whatever you want to call it. Food. Okay, that's not freedom. Okay? Freedom, real freedom is non-arisal of dharma because you can say, stop. You can stop your thoughts. What happened to people is that they think they're free, they think they're in control of their destiny, but they cannot help what's churning inside of themselves. The constant production of thoughts, thought after thought after thought. Is that clear? Okay. So that's why non-arisal of dharmas. And then patience of non-arisal of dharma. It is so insightful. What does it tell you? You just understood the meaning of non-arisal of dharmas, which is what you are capable of doing, but you don't know how. If you don't know how, what is that called? I call it you're a victim of life. Life pulls you along, pushes you along, and you cannot control it. That's why you have zero freedom. It's not that bad, honey. You've been living like that. So don't look at me like, oh, you want to cry. No, don't cry. Yeah. Me too, I have the same problem. Okay? It's just being pushed along in the flow of life, water under the bridge. All right? So far, so good? So the Buddha says, you are capable of attaining, training yourself to reach the level of non-arisal of dharma, meaning that when you feel like it, you stop. You stop your thoughts. You are in control. That's why it's freedom. Freedom in Buddhism, ultimate freedom, is to be able to control your thoughts from arising. Okay? For example, have a good lunch today? Yeah, nice lunch. It's one person enjoyed it, the rest of us didn't. I want you to know, I heard the cook today stayed up until 3 in the morning last night. Okay? Went to bed and then came to the temple after getting up in the morning, taking a shower, have breakfast and so forth. Okay? So after 2 hours, after getting up, she came to the temple at 8 o'clock. So 3, 8 o'clock minus 2, that's 6 o'clock. 3 to 6, that's 3 hours of sleep. Okay? And then she stood there and flipped the gnocchi one by one to fry it. Did you know that? That's why Jung disappeared, that coward. Jung says, I look at the plate that's served to me, I have to look at it and I don't dare eat it because it's so much work into this. I don't deserve this. His wife trained him well. So sad, these people. Anyway, so you have, the sages have a non-arisal of dharmas. You see, the guy is supposed to eat lunch, but he said, no, I can't eat lunch. So it's the arisal of dharma and says, no, don't eat. Okay? Right. So what happens here, non-arisal dharma is that shut up and no more thought arises. Is that clear? That is freedom. You are the boss. You're not pulled by your desire, by your anxiety, by your whatever goes on inside. Like in this young man at Jewel Conk. Look at him. He looks calm outside. Actually, inside is going up and down like a yo-yo. Okay? And the Buddha says, this non-arisal dharmas, how do you get there? What does it take to get to non-arisal dharmas? By patience. Hello, he's back. Through the dharma of patience. The only way, don't tell others. This is a paid session, which is 50% off today. Okay? If you want to develop this technology of non-arisal of dharma, meaning that you can cut off your thoughts, in other words, okay? It only can be achieved through patience. You flip over one at a time. Patience. And you know, there are at least, I counted the plates today, there must be at least 10,000 of them with chopsticks, you know. That's the only way, folks. Don't tell people. The non-Buddhists don't know that. They have no idea on how to stop thoughts. Shh. And we, only us, we know how to train ourselves to stop our thoughts. Are you interested, Anthony? Anthony, ooh, I like this. Well, I don't want to show people I like it. The only way. Please, please. That's Buddhist secret, folks. This is why, in order for you to get there, we put you through a lot of training to build up your patience. And one of the way is, anyone remembers? I know none of you paid attention. You always thought I was joking. No, sir. The way to build your patience is for you to have anyone remembers? You forgot already? See, I knew no one took me seriously. 4 children. They're very trying. 1, I can't stand them. 4? And that's, you only have 1. You get 3 more, and you see what I mean. Your husband goes crazy. Yes, Weimao.
Amitabha Master, so for those of us who just don't want to have 4 children, how do we practice this patience?
Forget it.
Please, thank you.
You can't. You must have 4. If you have more than 4, you're on accelerated training program. Anyone else? Okay? Isn't it beautiful? Is it clear now? I want you to know, this is the first time ever that anyone explains the patience and non-arisal of dharmas in terms of having 4 children. Yes, Weimao.
My parents must be enlightened because they have 4 children.
I'm very glad. If they're not, they're very close.
Yeah.
How many are there of you?
4.
4. Perfect.
Yeah, they did. They practiced the Dharma.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no wonder. They have potential, that's for sure. Anyone else?
I wanted to ask a question.
Yes, sir.
So, when there's no arisal of Dharma, the Buddha nature can operate. The Buddha nature can still operate effectively when there's no arisal of Dharma and do what needs to be done. Correct?
It's actually, I just need to make a slight adjustment. When you have in a state of non-arisal of dharmas, meaning you're not thinking at all, your Buddha nature is at its best.
So that's kind of like when a high performer will do the thing they've practiced 1,000 times, and let's say Kobe Bryant, he's dribbling on the court, but he's not thinking about dribbling or where he has to stand when he has to shoot because he's done it 1,000,000 times. So there's no background thought running.
Okay, very good. Let me explain to you in basketball terms. Anyone interested? There's too many women here, so I need to ask them first. Are you interested in hearing basketball? Hey, children, would you like to hear about basketball? See? Okay, never mind. Let me explain to you in terms of survival. How's that? Survivor. No one watches TV anymore? What is it with you people? You only work or what? This is terrible. Okay. I don't care. I'll tell you about the survivor story. I just thought of it at lunch. I'll tell you before I forget. I caught a clip of that show on CBS or somewhere, okay, TV show, Survival, where they bring a bunch of crazy people together, men, women, and so forth, and they go through these challenges, okay? And if you fail, you drop out, and whoever survives, move on to the next challenge, next challenge, next challenge, okay? So I caught the final episode. Liang, are you interested? Liang said, yeah, that sounds like my kind of thing. Yeah, okay. So the final episode, only 2 people left. Okay, so went through all these things and it came to the final challenge. And what's the challenge like? Okay, it's you hang on to a pole like this. Okay, and you half dressed. Okay, and whoever drops first loses. So what's interesting, what caught my attention is like the battle of the sexes. It's the 2 final contestants were, one is a young lady about 3rd age. How old are you? 50? Okay, she's a young colored lady in her like 25, 28 years old. And she survived all these tests until that final one. Amazing girl, right? And her opponent is what? Vietnam man. Serious. So yellow against black, brown. All the white died. Yellow, so anyway, so the Vietnam man, how old is he? 50s, at least. But the Vietnam people, you can never really tell. When they look 50, actually they're 60 or 70. Okay, so they both hung on like this, and they show the strain in the face of both of them. The girl, hang on there, she's young, she says, no problem, I'm younger than you. And the man, she was so calm, collected, the man really struggled. And the girl, she glanced over to him. Oh man, are you going to give up? More or less that kind of attitude, And the guy said, oh no, I can't take this much longer. Okay, this is too much for me. And you know what happened? She dropped. You remember that episode? I'm the only one. You guys are all so boring up here. So he won. And so he said, I can't believe it. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I won. And then he wins something like $100,000. Okay? Survivor. Okay. That's a lot of money. And buys a lot of incenses. Anyway, so after the contest, they interview him. He asked the man, he said, excuse me, sir, but you're twice her age. And you yellow. Yellow people are not designed for endurance. Yellow people are designed to code, to program, to engineer, but not for endurance. Agree? These are our genes, okay? It sounds so racist, doesn't it? I don't care. Anyway, so they ask him, sir, what is your secret? And he says, I will tell you right now, I could not believe I survived. Because the survivor, the program is called Survivor. Whoever survives all these tests will win, okay? And I wanted to give up. I wanted to give up so early on. I said, this is too much for me. I'm too old for this. And my mind was complaining and said, oh, this is too much. Second prize is not that bad after all. We yellow and, we are not built for this. And all those thoughts keep on coming, and I wanted to give up. The temptation just to let go is so irresistible. And so the interviewer said, then what did you do, sir? What did you do? What is your secret? How could you not give up? Would you like to know? It's too late now because the secret has been revealed already. Okay? But you know what he did? He says, every time that the thought says, let go, let go, you know what he did? He says, Amitofo. And he didn't let go. And then 30 seconds later, I said, let go, let go. I better let go. 20 seconds later, that's what he did. Instead of letting go, okay, the thought, let go. Right? To let go means you have to have a thought, let go. Instead of following through, what does he do? And stops it. Stop his hands from letting go. That's all he did. The last stretch. Constantly. So it's like, first it's like every 30 seconds, and then every 20 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, it's like, he didn't drop. What is that called? The training of the patience of non-arisal of dharmas. I saw that. I loved it. I said, wow, Buddha is so ingenious. And that's end of birth and death. You stop your thoughts. Birth is a thought arising. Death is, it dies. So end birth and death is not just getting out of real reincarnation, because real reincarnation is the observable aspect of birth and death. You are reborn and die, reborn, die because of thoughts in your heads. If you stop the thought from being born, then there's no more death, therefore you're free from birth and death, therefore you're free from the wheel and reincarnation. So far so good? Yes, Way Mountain.
Thank you, Master. I have a question about the manic and depression ghosts. Is that are they ghosts that hang around the person all the time, 24 hours a day, or do they travel thousands of miles in a split second to the person? Thank you.
Okay, very good. Oh, no translation? Okay, never mind. Okay, good thing we are Buddhists together, right? So we can speak freely, yeah? Because you're non-Buddhist, they say, ghosts and spirit, you guys are crazy, okay? It's not for the non-Buddhists, it's not for the faint of heart, okay? They are afraid to talk about ghosts and spirits. They claim that, it's a ghost and spirit. Actually, deep down, they're scared. They say, don't remind me of ghosts and spirits. It's in my house. And when you tell when we talk about it, they said, "I'm glad the ghost spirits are in their house. It's not in my house." No, okay. When you're depressed, it's caused by something we call ghost of depression. A ghost of depression is in being. We are humans, so we are about yin and yang balance. Half yin, half yang. God's up there, like Daniel's boss. Daniel's right behind you. Look behind you. There you go. The one who's not in full lotus. Okay? His God is yang. That's why they become God and goddesses. We are half and half. That's how we became who we are. It's not that great, let me tell you. And then the other side of the spectrum, a ghost, okay? They are in being, meaning that they full of in energy. Okay? In energy could be associated with what? Fear. Those negative emotions, those negative things are in. Whereas yang is the gods. What are the yang? Energy. Come on, South Carolina, quickly. It's off the top of your tongue. What's yang energy?
It's the positive energy? Or?
Yeah, it's positive energy. What is positive energy?
It's
off the top of your head.
Optimism.
No, love for you. Yeah? Okay. Brady, what's yang energy for you? Quickly, don't think. What's yang energy for you? Don't use your iPhone. Use your microphone. What is yang energy for you?
Female energy.
What? No! Wrong! Yang energy for you is rainbow. He's G.I. Joe. I don't call G.I. Joe for nothing. Okay, so you see, so the gods are yang energy, and the ghosts are yin energy. We're in between. So we draw both God and ghosts. We have affinities with both. Okay? And so the depression ghosts are a form of yin energy, a form of being, okay, that belongs to the yin world, that are able to connect with you, okay? It's very much like yang can connect with you. So we're in between. That's why we're the bridge. So they come and go. When they come to us, then we feel depressed. And they plant thoughts of depression and thoughts that make us feel bad, okay? And they come and go as they please, okay? So usually, when you are depressed, it's because they're there. They're oppressing you. All right? And then sometimes they need to take a break. They need to go hiking, for example. And then they go on a hike and they say, okay, I'll be back. Don't worry, I'll be back. And so they come in and out like that. That's why it's very difficult to deal with them. Because the therapists and the healthcare professionals don't believe in that model, yin and yang. And that's why they prescribe medications, okay, which compress the emotions, but does not directly handle the in force, the in energy, the in beings. And therefore, those meds are actually poisons our body, and they don't really work that well, except for extreme cases like people who wish to kill themselves. But normal people like you, like G.I. Joe, when you're depressed, okay, it's not much you can do in terms of meds. Meds can't really help you. Meds, again, I repeat for you, if you're suicidal, you need some professional help. You need to be interned, you need to take medication to stop that impulse, that heavy impulse of harming yourself. But if you're not severe, then using meth is not a good idea. Okay? It's really turns you into a zombie. And this is why most of you, why that type of movies, zombie movies, are so popular, because most of the people are depressed. They like it. I'm kidding. You guys are the most boring people. Okay, so you take meds, basically you become a zombie. It's not a good thing. Does it help? Did I answer your question? Okay, very good. Good luck to you. Don't kill yourself. Yes, Wima.
Master, it's interesting that you said that birth and death can be interpreted in terms of thought as well. Because I kind of always thought that. I kind of always had that feeling that in Buddhism, birth and death didn't just mean the physical body, birth and death, but also birth and death of thoughts and ideas and everything else.
Right, right. Your physical body, the physical birth and death, actually originated from the thought birth and death. As you become more advanced in your spiritual practice, you see their relationship. All right? All right, anyone else? Okay, let's go back to this slide 110. So you have two virtues. Virtues of severance. Severance, again, to cut off delusions and end your thoughts, which ultimately becomes free from birth and death. Okay? And number two type of virtue is wisdom. The virtue of wisdom. So two types of virtue. Virtues of severance and virtues of wisdom. We're going to go into the virtue of wisdom. Yes, you too.
We have a question and actually clarification that Roberta Nell would like. She states, I thought yin and yang have themselves both good and bad based on their use, as in using female energy well and masculine energy. Please clarify.
No, you're wrong. Your model is confused. Yes, it's true that in general, there's nothing purely yang. Yang is not always 100%, but we're talking about yang dominant. Okay? Same thing with yin. Yin is not usually not 100%. Yin still has a bit of yang in there. Okay, so that's why the confusion for most people. But to simplify the model, in a simplistic model, just consider them to be diametrically opposite. That's simpler for you. Okay, so yang is positive, yin is negative. Yang is good, yin is evil. To simplify model, that's all. Okay. So don't go to the point where, and so that's the two extremes, and then there is a mixing, like the humankind is yin and yang, a combination. That's why it's a spectrum of pure yang and pure yin, and then in between there's all sorts of mixing. All right. And it's not fixed, because you can evolve. Look at the scale here. You can begin here, and then you can go into yin and become Democrat, and then you realize your ways, and then you become Republican. You see, does it sound familiar? We change constantly. We're in a state of flux. All right, anyone else? Okay, so going back to slide 110. Hope I can finish this today. The second type of virtue is wisdom. What's amazing, I want you to think about is that, as I said earlier, wise people are virtuous, more or less. Okay, that's a concept. If you're wisdom, then you do virtuous things naturally, without thinking. So your state of being, when you have wisdom, is that everything you do actually virtuous. Isn't that cool? It's effortless. Because for us right now, look at Liang, see, she's thinking. You see, it's so much effort for her. She says, everything I do is virtuous? No. You see that? It's a struggle. Because when you have wisdom, you don't have to think anymore. And everything you do is nice. Okay? And so that's why in Buddhism, we want you to understand that virtue has 4 different types. 1 is perfect mirror. Number 2 is equal nature. Number 3 is wonderful observing. Number 4, accomplishing what must be done. Okay? So you are endowed with 4 different types of virtues, or 4 different types of wisdom. They are extremely useful for you in your daily lives. And you use them without realizing it. Would you like to know what they are? Well, I'm glad you asked. 111. This is from a Buddhist dictionary. The 4 types of wisdom, perfect mirror wisdom. We went through that, I think, the last couple of weeks, prior 2 weekends. Anyone remembers perfect mirror wisdom? Okay. What I'm going to add today is that perfect mirror wisdom is actually you transform your 8th consciousness into the perfect mirror wisdom. I didn't tell you that the prior 2 weekends. Meaning, what's this 8th consciousness? 8th consciousness is the store consciousness that stores everything about you. More so than just your social security number. Everything. Okay? You're Asian, you are male, you have a temper, you know, and so forth. Everything, the complete dossier about you is in the 8th consciousness. It's also called the store consciousness, is because for every karma you create, it gets stored in the 8th consciousness. That's why it's called storehouse consciousness. Every single karma that we've been creating all this time in the past, up till now, is in the 8th consciousness. It's like a huge drive, SSD drive, infinite SSD drive. It has everything about us. And Google thought they know everything. We know everything. Google doesn't. James is totally unimpressed. He says, Google is God. No. Okay? Even ChatGPT thinks they know everything. You know what? Hey, listen. If you get ChatGPT to train on the eighth consciousness, ChatGPT will become God. Because God knows everything. Isn't that cool? Okay, so I want you to understand this concept because this is how powerful it is. Look at what we have today. AI is so powerful because it trains itself on this vast amount of knowledge. Yes? But look at us. We're even smarter because the knowledge we have is even bigger. That's how powerful we are, folks. Do not underestimate yourself. If you find a way to train yourself on your eighth consciousness, you're incredible in knowledge, and that's called perfect mirror wisdom. Isn't it beautiful how I present it? Yeah? Yet you go to ChatGPT and to get the perfect mirror wisdom. Isn't that beautiful? The AI model right now is not just programming, but it also, the other part that's totally essential to AI is the quality of the data. Yeah? Yes, sir? Huh? Look at him. He's drooling. Now he knows about our eighth consciousness. And is perfectly, totally free. They all asleep. Yeah, only the girls like it, the men like it. But my devoted left-phone people, they're hopeless. Yes, you too.
Yes, Master, we have a comment from Diego Alfonso.
Yes.
Amitofo, Master.
Hola.
Is there any ninth consciousness, something beyond the eighth consciousness, or what is beyond the eighth? Is it the true nature? Thank you.
Yes. Ninth consciousness is called ChatGPT. Okay, second one. Second wisdom is equal nature. Equal nature is the wisdom. It's kind of interesting. I want you to understand this. It's very insightful. The wisdom that arises, that you can wield, when your ego is transformed into it. Meaning that your ego is incredibly powerful. Okay? And if the ego is so discriminatory, and if you manage, this is very powerful Buddhist concept, if you manage to stop discriminating, that's how your wisdom arises. Stop discriminating against black and white, yellow or black, survivor and non-survivor. You know, you stop discriminating, this, your equal nature wisdom. The wisdom that no longer discriminates. And one day, you understand why it's so important. Right now, it's okay. I only want you to memorize this. So far, so good. It's incredibly insightful, the Buddha says. This is a state of superior people. They don't discriminate. Think about it. The Koreans prefer to deal with Koreans. Vietnam prefer Vietnamese. No, you don't call it Vietnamese, huh? Chinese prefer Xi Jinping. I mean, just kidding. Okay? And so forth. You see that? I'm joking about it, but I want you to know when you have this preference, then what are you doing? You are confining your horizons to this much only. When you no longer discriminate, okay? What are you doing? You're expanding your horizons infinitely. That's why you have no more boundaries. Beautiful, isn't it? Very simple concept. Stop discriminating. And that's why the Americans are so good in business, because they don't discriminate. They take advantage of everyone. They exploit everyone, yellow, black, white, red, you name it. They don't care. Whereas the Koreans prefer to do business with Koreans. Vietnam prefer to do Vietnam. China is the best, they think. And that's why your horizon is so limited. The Japanese, for example, is fascinating. Can I share you the story I found so fascinating a long time ago? I used to hang around with professors for some reason. Maybe they're smarter. PhDs, brilliant people. And they said, you go for a PhD in Japan, okay? And you go study under a famous Japanese professor. Brilliant, internationally renowned Japanese professor. You know what is the training? I found it so fascinating. He says, you want to be as like a genius my level? You need to worship me. I'm the best. That's why they're at best able to replicate themselves if they're lucky, but they cannot improve on themselves. Don't discriminate. Okay, Lee? Don't look down upon the Buddhists and monks. Yeah, Ling says monks are losers, basically. Okay? So that's what equal nature. You understand now why it's called wisdom? Because you don't limit yourself. Does it make sense to you? It's not explained like this in Chinese, by the way. The Chinese are too Chinese, I want to explain to you because from perspective of Chinese, Vietnam, India, so. Cool? Wonderful observing. Okay? Wonderful observing wisdom is what? I will give you an example of wonderful observing wisdom. Would you like to know it? It's very close home. I heard it yesterday. Example. Someone says, my son told me that I know nothing about my wife. I said, say what? I said, his son is like 35, I think, no? 35, no? 25, damn, it's even worse than I thought. His son told him, he said, no, your mom is not like the way you describe. He said, no. He tried to tell his 25-year-old son, said, what you see your mom today is not what she was when I first met her, when she was 10 years ago, 15 years, 20 years ago. He says, no, you're wrong. She has always been this way. And that's called wonderful observing wisdom. The son has it, but the dad doesn't. And I'm ashamed to tell you, the dad I consider to have wisdom. But certainly, I was so shocked. I said, how am I going to explain to the rest of my disciples? So it's because the wonderful observing wisdom is not activated yet. If you activate it, you are incredibly, the Vietnamese has a saying, okay? I want the Vietnam people to hear it. I don't know if they understand this. Con dùi bay quá, biết đực hay là cái? That came compliments from my grandma, my great-grandma. She's uneducated. My grandma, people used to make fun of her, say, Mom, Grandma, you don't know anything. You don't understand anything about life. My grandma was so offended because people keep on telling her she's illiterate, by the way. She couldn't even read. God save her soul. Okay? And she was so upset, and she kept on telling people. People keep on making fun of her, especially my siblings. So she says, con ruồi bay quá, tao biết được cái là cãi nữa. In Central Vietnam accent. You know what it means? In Vietnam, it means when a fly flies by, I can tell it's white. I can tell whether it's male or female. Okay, I'm joking around too much. That's called wonderful observing wisdom. Okay? Meaning, you can see things so clearly. People cannot hide from you. You know, they pretend to be this, they pretend to be that. We look at them. Okay, you're a male fly. Number 4, accomplishing what must be done. That sounds interesting to you, doesn't it? Whatever you need to get done, you call upon this wisdom, you do it. Just in case any of you needs it. And you think that Buddhism is like out there, you know, it's nonsense? No, sir. If you get to this level, okay, you are one of the greatest problem solvers. It's nothing that you can't do. That's why these 4 wisdoms are what you will eventually be able to harness the power to make a difference. Whatever you want to do, whatever field you want to do, all these 4 wisdoms will be very useful to you. Okay, we stop here today. Thank you very much for your attention. Yes, 6.
The Chinese says the consciousness only school. It says that once you become Buddha, you can turn this consciousness into wisdom for the perfect mirror wisdom. So this is a Buddha's wisdom, but I saw that we talk about this like you don't have to be a Buddha to have this.
Yeah, the Buddha has the perfect mirror wisdom. But before that, we have 95%, 90%, 70%, 60%, whereas ordinary people have 0%. Okay? It's by degrees. Buddha is 100%. Bodhisattvas, depending on where they are, from 99 to lower. Thank you. Good questions, everyone. Okay, thank you. See you next time.